Hello, everybody. My name is High Priestess Ishera, and today's Circle of Love is from superhero to super healer. A superhero, if you don't want to watch this whole video, I'll come in with this little analogy. A superhero is someone who helps from the inside out. A super healer is someone who helps from the inside within to the inside out. Superhero from the inside to the outside. Super healer from the inside to the inside. Okay, you guys, I have always been, I repeat, always been an empath. And I've always walked that spiritual path from when I was a child. I've always been unique. I've always been special. Never walked in regular circles. Many spirits have always been around me for a very long time. I was actually a sexual concubine for certain spirit and extraterrestrial deities for a very long time from when I was young. So I grew up in the spirit realm between the veil. And I grew up with large amounts of fear because I had no one to teach me about spirituality. I wasn't really seeing anything on TV about spirituality. So I grew up fearing my spiritual essence, which is me. Even though I'm Haitian, I come from a Haitian family. They were raised in the Catholic religion. Sexuality wasn't spoken about in my house. And so I didn't even know me as a goddess, my sexual power, when it came to sexuality, because sexuality was not spoken about in my house growing up. As spiritual beings, we run this archetype, which they perpetuate on TV constantly, which draws us in and keeps us asleep, with where you either grow up wanting to be a superhero or you grow up wanting or end up being a supervillain. Now, I've always, and I'm sorry you guys, I didn't write this down. There's just certain points I want to hit within this video, and I hope I do, but this is freestyle. All my life, since when I was young, dealing with being a concubine with extraterrestrial deities, and also with a couple of my bloodline ancestors, dealing with being I'm also what they call a test subject for other extraterrestrial deities. And basically I'm watched from the outside from these extraterrestrials, and basically they watch my evolvement, because I evolve faster than most people, and they basically scientifically record me as I evolve. So I'm very unique. I'm very different. My life is very different from childhood. I've lived that $1 million lifestyle where I'm not really allowed to be around certain people. I've always wanted to be a superstar. That even never came to fruition. I even went to California to pursue my music career. And I realize now in my old age that I wasn't allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to be in the limelight. But because that desire is in me, I will always try and always attempt to share the knowledge with whoever wants to listen. From a kid, my empath energies has always been strong. I remember looking through an Inquirer at the age of maybe 9, 10, and I saw a picture of Jacqueline Onassis. And then I started crying and crying and crying and crying. Very similar to how I cried when I dropped off my son at the first day of summer camp. And I remember thinking to myself, that woman is so sad. That woman is so sad. I feel so bad for her. That woman is so sad. It's like, I don't know what Jacqueline Onassis was going through, because at the time I only looked through the Inquirer because there were pretty pictures and bathing suits and stuff like that. So I really didn't read about it, but I knew she went through a lot of things and she was super sad. And this was a norm for me. I would look through magazines, and there were just certain entertainers that would connect with me, and I would feel their sadness or feel their joy or connect with them in some type of way. And because of this empath energy of mine, of course, I grew up wanting to be a superhero. From when I was a teenager, my archetype has always been superhero. It's always been, and I believe that's why I went into music and left home and went to California to pursue my music career and try to get signed and did videos and movies and TVs and things of that nature. It's because I had so much sadness within me. I wanted my music to help other people who were going through the sadness that I was going through. And I'm talking about Alanis Morissette's sadness. I kind of connected with her because her sadness, I felt it, and she personified it through her music. And that was my goal when I was younger. I wanted to get signed and help people know that you cannot let the sadness overcome you, to the point where I even almost got signed. But sadly, Spirit didn't allow that, because the corporation that wanted to sign me was a mafioso corporation, Costa Nostra. And even after Spirit told me, no, these peoples are mafia, you cannot fuck with them, I still wanted to sign with them. I still tried to get signed with them. But then, of course, because I'm a high level royal, Spirit shut that shit down, and they didn't sign me. Even though I knew I was walking into about to being signed with a mafioso label, I didn't give a fuck. I wanted to give the message so bad that I was willing to sacrifice signing with a mafioso record label. But the spirits didn't allow me to do so. And when you're connected with Spirit, whether you know it or not, they'll allow you to make mistakes and learn, but they won't allow you to fuck up your life to infinity and destroy your spiritual growth. So as a child, I've always wanted to be a superhero. That's another reason why I opened up this channel, my nonprofit organization, Mama's Family Circle, is because I wanted to start producing videos that personified through music and positive decision making on how to keep an internal balance and how to continue to make positive, uplifting decisions in your life from childhood on. And that's why I started my Mama's Family Circle. And I love my nonprofit. I had to shut it down because I didn't have enough people working with me on it. But that's why I have my alter ego, Mama Sheba's House. She's a Caribbean mom that loves to share music and song with her 7 adopted kids. I've always wanted to be a superhero, and I personified that and created that within my life the best I could throughout my life. But I realize now in my old age, you guys, that superheroes are great. They fight villains for the good cause, and they work hard on making the world a better place by fighting the villains, by sharing the message, by being an example. But I learned in my old age now, I went from a superhero to a super healer. I'm a super healer. And again, what a super healer is a super healer is one that stops fighting the good fight. Super healer is the one that stops fighting the fictitious villains that keeps this world lost, confused, and sleepy. A super healer stops fighting the outside energies, and super healers starts working from within, starts working from within self. You know how I heal the earth? I heal the earth by working on self. For as I get better, I am inadvertently feeding and injecting Gaia with 3 to 4 times more energy than I was doing trying to be a superhero by fighting villains or fighting the good cause. I always wanted to stop all the people who were sexually abusing children, and that's why I did videos and scripts about it, and started my Mama's Family Circle nonprofit organization. I even remember creating a superhero that fought and killed off molesters and abusers. You know, I did. I remember creating a show, and I even wrote the script, and it was a show about a lawyer who was a lawyer in the daytime, but at night what she did was killed off high-level molesters, wealthy molesters, and she would always have to make sure she killed them correctly so the evidence wouldn't come back to her. Anyway, in my old age, I stopped being a superhero and started being a high priestess, super healer. I started going within myself and working on myself, because I know metaphysically that for as long as I keep all the false, low vibrational bullshit out, the feeling of nobody liking me, the frustration of never being popular, because being popular because of my ego state has always been a desire for me. But spirit always shuts that shit down like, nope, that's not your job. Nope, that's not your job. Nope, that's not your job. From my music career to my nonprofit, everything, it's always on a low-key level. And I've realized that there are just some people who are made for the light, and there's some people who are not made for the light, who are ordained, if you will, to always be in the dark. And I'm one of those people. No matter how good it is, no matter how great I exude, I'll never be overly popular because of my position in the spirit realm. Because me being overly popular would, number one, taint the scientific data that the extraterrestrials who watch over me, it would taint the data of my evolvement. Also, because I'm a royal, my ancestral blood is high-level royal. That within itself, it's like the President of the United States. Like, not everybody gets to be around the President of the United States. That's just how it goes down. Why? Because he or she is too important, period. So with this video, all I'm asking you guys is to switch up your perspective and see how it feels to be from superhero fighting a good cause. That's wrong. Walking petitions. Black Lives Matter. As soon as you promote Black Lives Matter, you're negating other lives, like sex trafficking, like the foreign children who get taken away from their homes and get sold into slavery or sold into cannibalism. You know, it's not just Black Lives Matter, it's all lives matter. As soon as you focus on any injustice, any outside injustice, you are helping the negative powers that be, the reptilians, the 1%ers of this earth. that run this world, the 5 families that run this earth. You're helping them perpetuate a vibration of sleepness and unknowing. I'm a high level high priestess. I know focusing on any of that shit is actually playing towards the evildoers. I'm a super healer, okay? I focus on my internal growth always, not the wants and desires of me, not wanting to be famous. Don't get me wrong, I think about it, but I know that's not my path anymore. Wanting to be famous, wanting to give that message out there, wanting to kill all the molesters in the world quietly and nobody knowing about it, just so I know I killed off a guy or a girl who used to hurt a child. You know, I used to have dreams about that shit, just killing motherfuckers who were molesters. Maybe because I was molested when I was a kid and I was very passionate about it. But whatever energy I didn't feed into my written music, I fed into my creativity with my children's show, with the scripts I've wrote and things of that nature. So all I'm saying is change up your perspective and see what it would feel like to be a super healer more so than a super hero. Because within being a super healer, you are healing the earth 3 times more stronger because you're not feeding off of the false energies of this world that keeps this whole atmosphere, this whole Milky Way sleep. That's how they control us, with any level of negativity. So any type of Black Lives Matter, oh, this is an injustice, oh, they're beating up, anything that comes into my Facebook stream about beating, killing, injustice, fighting, I block all of that, because me as a super healer, I can't allow that frequency to penetrate my aura, to penetrate my atmosphere, because I am a high level super healer. And as a super healer, I have to use my villainous energy, the need and the power to want to kill all of those molesters, and my superhero energy, my innate ability to work within self and feed that energy off into the atmosphere where it reaches it. And because I'm in Hawaii, woo, that energy is 3-4 more times. It's like the people who live in New Orleans. If you a true master of magic and you live in Hawaii, New Orleans, where else? Even Mexico too, because Mexico has deep heritage. Your magic intensity is 3 times than all the other places in this United States of America. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just talking about United States of America. So please believe that there are many perspectives you can actually attempt to make a difference in this world. Yeah, you could fight the villains, but yeah, you can also utilize your self-growth and inadvertently feed the earth a full injection of unconditional love, God, universe energy. That's what unconditional love is. So every time you loving yourself and not allowing the outside nature to fuck with you, to bring you down, to stress you out, you know, but just to lift you up, you are doing your part as a super healer, but then you turn into a superhero, but then you turn yourself into a super healer when you're not utilizing the energies of the outside world, ricocheting a back and forth effect. I'm gonna give you a service, and then you pay me and you give me a service, and then we're going to help each other to grow. Oh, I'm gonna tell these people that there's abuse out there, and then they're gonna listen, and then together we're gonna ricochet back and forth this love energy. Oh, I'm gonna tell these people all this negative stuff that's going on out there, and they're gonna hear this message and it's gonna change their mind. That's that superhero energy. Fuck that. I take out the middleman. I'm gonna work on me and continually build this self energy, which makes me better, I feel, when it comes to comparing. Yeah, that was my ego. I have a very strong ego. When it comes to comparing someone who's doing magic for someone to get a gain to someone who is doing magic for self and personifying that Gaia energy to self-inject Gaia and the earth. You could do the same thing with hugging a tree, with planting a tree, with connecting with herbs and plants and everything else. And I'm talking about plants that are actually in the ground. You know what I'm saying? With connecting with an animal totem or with animals. All of that is injecting 3 or 4 times stronger the unconditional love Gaia energy that can help the earth on a whole. That can help the earth on a whole. So try being a super healer outside of a superhero. Trust me, it helps the earth and it helps you. And again, this is a disclaimer. This is my opinion and my opinion only. Other people may think differently, and that's fine with them. But I experience both sides of the atmosphere, from running my own metaphysical business for over 10 years to now being a super healer, injecting my self-enrichment within this Gaia earth. I feel like I help the earth more so this way. And my spiritual enlightenment, my Kundalini risings are stronger, more intense, and in my opinion, better. My name is High Priestess Ishera, and I'll see you next time in another video here in my nonprofit organization world, Mama's Family Circle.